So, hi guys, welcome to the MMA UK news. Obviously, me, Stoomboy, as always. Usually, I'm doing the MMA UK BJJ show. So, obviously, tonight I'm getting a chance to speak to, obviously, a guy I know through jiu-jitsu. So, obviously, I've known Chris through jiu-jitsu for a few years. So, I think I managed to see you doing a competition once, I'm sure it was, a few years ago. You did a no-gi competition, like you won gold in your division. So it was a good division. Cammy Nickel and all that. There was a good fight between you. You fought, I think, who else did you fight? You fought Nathaniel on the day as well. I'm sure you fought Nathaniel.
I fought good grapplers that day, and I don't even like grappling.
So, but yeah, you did well that day. As I say, you did well that day. That was the first time I think I'd got to see you, as I say, obviously doing some grappling. So, as I say, we're going to talk about something that obviously I know a bit about MMA. As I say, not too hot on MMA. As I say, I'm more of a jiu-jitsu guy. I don't like getting punched in the face, Chris. So, so I stick to cuddling people. So, but yeah, as we're going to chat with you, as I said, I wanted to speak to you for a while, even when I did Stoomcast, obviously, to talk about grappling and stuff like that. So we never got the chance. So I'm glad I got the chance to speak to you now. As I said, a lot's changed for you in the last little while. Obviously, becoming a dad. So how's everything with that?
It's good, man. It's really good. Just trying to adjust as best I can. It's kind of the difficult and the most problematic, if you like, would be kind of juggling all three things: being professional athlete, full-time PT, and full-time dad. So it's quite a hard one to juggle sometimes. So now that I've got news of a fight and stuff like that, I've decided to take, as of Monday, that'll be 8 weeks. I'll take 8 weeks off work, and I'll just have to, maybe a little bit inside me is that I want to make sure I do this correctly, and I don't want anybody thinking, for instance, it's never going to happen. But like if there was ever an excuse for me to not sit, like, oh, I could have done this better if I had quit my work or whatever. So I'm not even going to put that out there. I'm just going to make sure that I do everything right now, and then there'll be no excuses at the other end, and also it'll give me the right motivation, just to say that I've done everything right. And when I win, I want to win in spectacular fashion, get the contract, and then that means, there's no stone left unturned,
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously the big news was the UFC. I know obviously MMA UK put it out there. How many people did you get the chance to speak to before obviously MMA UK put it out
there? I think they actually they'd all kind of asked me about these rumors and that, and I didn't really know what to do and what to say. And then all of a sudden, the UFC put it up on their live broadcast. So I was like, bag now. So I text my manager, and obviously we're 12 hours behind because he's in America now. So it's just like everybody was posting about it, and I had to keep silent just in case, my manager wanted it to keep low profile, just in case we wanted to make it kind of like a thing that we're going to announce it. But then, everybody started catching on, and then I just went with the wave, and then it was all good to go.
Nice one. And what was the feeling like that when you got that phone call to tell you that was you?
You know what, man? It was a bit of a weird one. I don't think I got to actually enjoy it as much as I did. Just because of everything that's going on in the world with this COVID and stuff like that, and there's so much unsure. Is it insurity or so much? No, I'll stick to fighting. By the way, I'm not much out there. There's so many such things that you can, like, so many different things that can stop a fight happening at the moment. And because of all that, I didn't really get a chance to bask in the glory, if you like. And it's just kind of happened now. And I always thought to myself, I wonder what I'd feel like if the UFC came to Japan. But I think as well, because it's the contender season, I'm not actually signed to the UFC yet, so there's still a lot of work to be done. I'm still a fighter, and anybody that knows me, I've got loads of room to improve. I've got not that I'm a bad fighter, that I could fight on the UFC roster right now, but I feel I've got time to grow. Going to American Top Team and stuff like that will be massive for my training camps and stuff like that. So there's so much room for improvement and maturity, even if you wanted to call it maturity rather than, room to grow.
Yeah. And I'd say it's definitely exciting. I mean, when it came up, obviously when Peter told me about it, I was like, wow, this is brilliant. So even a contender series, I mean, you get to go out there and put on a show and then get people to kind of grow to you. So build up the fan base from the contender series and then straight into the UFC. So
yeah, that's another thing I like about the contender series. They really put a lot of promotion into you. They really push you as a fighter. And I think they like certain types of people. They don't just like bring anybody in to like the contender series. You need to have a little bit of a swag, if you like. They need to know that you're a finisher. Need to know that you've got a personality, because there's nothing worse, like having a guy out fighting. He's got the shittest personality in the world. You know what Conor McGregor's done for his brand. Just being able to chat and actually to be able to hold a conversation. You get so many fighters out there. They're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go out there and do my best. You're just like, oh god, right, like watch paint dry.
Yeah, definitely. And then one thing, obviously, you mentioned about being a finisher. I mean, that's one thing about you. I mean, you look for the finish every single time.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. I think it's just to do with the lifestyle. My lifestyle is so chaotic. It's just, and I just train so hard, and I just know my own capabilities and stuff like that. But like these guys in the UFC and all that sort of stuff, they want to see finishes. They want eyes on the telly, and I know it's great. I think that it's for a fighter to become good at grappling, it needs to be that they've got such a great skill set. I'm never ever going to knock that. It's just hard for the Joe Blogs and all these people to watch, because they don't see the intricacies and they don't know what it takes to become a good grappler. And it's just that's the way it is. But hopefully, over the next couple of years, people will actually start to be involved in MMA a bit more, maybe as much as football, and they'll understand it. And then obviously, the kind of knowledge and all that will get out there, and people will follow grapplers a bit more than they do. But I like to stand and strike. I've been brought up with striking all my life, so it's just something that's naturally to me.
Yeah, definitely. And then what about your training now then? So obviously you mentioned you're going to be going over to American Top Team. So you're going to be training with these guys, obviously. Is that going to be building up for the Contender Series? So when is it you're due to go over there?
Well, we're just in the process of getting my visa sorted just now. So I need a visa to travel with COVID, which is another step that needs to be put in place just because of everything that's going on in the world. I don't know about you. I just think the world's coming to an end with all this crazy stuff that's going on. It just goes like a weird setup that we live in. But once I get my visa, that gives me a kind of ticket to get over to America and start training. So I said to my girlfriend this morning, I'm not even getting my hopes up, because these things can tend to be ripped away from you quite quickly if you put everything into one basket. So I'm just going to take it as it comes. I don't need to go to American Top Team. I would like to. There's some pros and cons that come with both sides of it, but I would prefer to go to American Top Team. As I said, there would be no stone left unturned. When you go over there, it's quite hard to find sparring partners in Scotland, and when you're over there, you've got such a wide variety and so many different styles and opponents. So I just want to go over there and make sure there's no distractions. And I can just get the head down and come home with that big juicy contract.
Definitely. And then you mentioned about obviously not a lot of training partners in Scotland. That's one thing. Obviously, we've seen from you. Anybody that's got Chris on social media, I'd say you'll see you'll travel about. I remember you were down at Darren Till training with Darren Till. You obviously go over to the Hit Squad, train with the guys over there and stuff like that. So, is it important for you to get a wide variety of training partners rather than having? Because obviously your training partners that you train with on a daily basis is important. But having that variety of training partners, that is important for you.
Yeah, I like to be put out of my comfort zone as well. There's nothing more scary and nothing more like I'll be the biggest advocate of to tell anybody or any of the young fighters, like when I would go through to Darren Till's gym and spar Darren Till, I'm shitting my pants. Like I'm shitting my pants. The guy's got such heavy hands. The training over there puts you right out of your comfort zone. You've got guys like Mike Grundy and stuff like that wrestling you to death. there's no point going over to these camps and just like, there's no point me staying at home and being comfortable. You know, I can say I'll win every round here, or I'll spar here and get. Nah, that's not the way you grow and develop. So I like to put myself out there, and then nothing can be a surprise when I get in the cage. You know, as it's MMA. You know, I found it a bit funny. You know, I was even actually watching some fighters at the weekend on not that weekend there, the weekend before. You know, they were saying, "Oh, he dived on my legs. He's an ankle picker. He doesn't want to actually fight." Like, well, if you don't want to do that, move into kickboxing. Like, you're in.
Yeah.
If guys want to grapple with you, that's their problem. You know, so. You know, you need to cover all these avenues, whether the person be a grappler, a striker. You know, it's a big giant chess match, and you need to be really, really focused on every discipline. So, you know, that's why I like to put myself out these comfort zones and get submitted and get a hard spar and lose a couple of rounds. You know, these things make you grow, and I've got the biggest ego, but the smallest ego. Do you know what I mean? I've got an ego in the sense I want to do well, but I would rather put myself out there and lose in the gym than lose under those big limelights, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something, obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing, as I say, when it was announced. I was so happy for you. Obviously, I know that, obviously, you and your team, obviously, quite a close team. You see that on, as I say, when it was announced, and everybody that was sending you messages and stuff like that, everybody was so happy for you. So it was, I was absolutely brilliant. It's going to be brilliant to see, obviously, what you're going to do when you get there. So I put it out there. I was like, there's going to be a problem at 155. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it for you. And then, I mean, the Bellator, obviously you were in Bellator, had a couple of fights in Bellator. What was your situation when you left there then?
I think it's just run its course, you know. These things happen for a reason. I think, you know, Bellator have been such great, a great promotion to be associated with. And, you know, now that I've left, there's no bridges being burnt. You know, there's nothing we left on good terms. You know, so who's to say in the future we don't cross paths again? It's just one of these things. It's like a job at the end of the day. People think it's like a boyfriend and a girlfriend. It's not. It's work. It's a promotion that you go and work at. So the reason why I've moved on is just because it feels right at the time. And you know, don't get me wrong, you know, the dream for me was always to be in the UFC, but you know, that maybe the UFC won't suit me. We'll see, but I'm sure it will.
Yes, it definitely will. As they're definitely looking forward to it. And then for you, typical day training for you then, what would a typical day look like for you?
I'll just take you through a kind of basic week. So I'll get up in the morning, and I would probably do 2 or 3 clients in the morning before I train at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'll be in at like 7 to 8, 8 till 9, 9 till 10. And then Monday morning would be wrestling. Then Monday afternoon would be like a pad session or something like that. A Tuesday morning would be sparring recently. Been doing some sparring with certain types of people to kind of mimic the fight. Tuesday afternoon would be strength and conditioning. Wednesday morning would be grappling again. Then on a Wednesday, what would I do Wednesday? Wednesday afternoon would be either a pads or a long run. Then Thursday would also either be a run or strength and conditioning, and then probably a little bit of light sparring again at night. I sometimes go to a boxing gym. Friday morning, straight grappling, like BJJ grappling, you know, starting on the deck in bad position, guard, half guard. And then some of my nights can kind of vary depending on how I'm feeling and what needs to be done. But Friday night can either be boxing, sparring, or some pads again. And then we've got sprints on a Saturday morning. And sometimes I finish up on a Saturday afternoon just because the sprint's such high intensity, you know, it really does a bit in your nervous system. So depending on how I feel, I'll probably just sack it off at that and have a Sunday off. But you know, the typical week of training can always change because I'm always putting myself out there. I'm always training, but not a lot of the guys can keep up. So it's just who's about at the time to be able to help me out. and sometimes you just got to piss with the cock you got, and sometimes just go for a run. So um,
That's fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point. And then one thing
that's
I forgot to mention: your man that you're going to be fighting,
yeah.
Manuel, is it Gaxia? So, I mean, what do you know about the guy? Do you know anything about him? I know he's from Europe. He's a European guy. So, is there anything that you know about the guy?
I seen his sport. He's a taekwondo guy. He seems to be quite flashy. Does
Yeah.
mad kick. But to be totally honest with you, I'm not really that impressed about. I've watched some of his fights. I don't know if you've done the same, but the guy I just don't feel is on my level. You know, like well, you know, actions speak volumes. I don't want to just like chat shit about him because I've never met the guy, but
Yeah.
the guy had a 2 year layoff.
Yeah.
I've been fighting top guys. I've been fighting good guys. I've been fighting guys my level, and I don't feel he's been doing the same thing. You know, I've seen his record. He's fighting 0-1 guys and 0-4 guys, and he's 7-0. Like I don't even know how those fights have been set up. So,
Yeah.
I get it. You need to build a fighter, but that's almost like a boxing record that he's fighting with at the moment. So, as I say, actions speak volumes. I'm going to go out there on September 21st and just put on a show, and I can guarantee you that I'll be getting that contract. It's just no doubt in my mind that this is that isn't going to happen. I'm just so focused, and there's nothing that can stop me. It's just that the problem's coming. That's all I need to say.
Definitely. Well, as I said, it's definitely looking forward to seeing you there. As I said, it's if anybody should be there, it should be you. As I say, you've worked hard over the years. You've put the time in, and now you're there. Now you're at the big stage. So definitely looking forward to it. As I said, I love watching your fights. It's all about pressure. It's all about you'll come forward. You're always looking for the finish, and I think you finished everybody. I mean, certainly in your professional career, you've finished every single person. So looking
Yeah,
forward to seeing what you're going to do in the UFC
I think I only went to decision a couple of times as an amateur as well. You
as an
know,
amateur. Yeah, yeah,
I, I think people try too hard not to lose, and then that really shows up on the record. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you got to go in there and just do your damnedest. And like, if you're that worried about getting knocked out, you should be in a different sport. Like, I was saying that to my girlfriend. I'd be really pissed off if I get knocked out. Like, it's not a thing that I'd be chuffed about. But at the end of the day, man, if you get your lights shut out, you know, you went out there, you done your job, and that guy hit you hard, and that's just it. I think I'd be more pissed off if I got submitted.
yeah. And then what about when you do get there? I mean, obviously you're in the UFC, you're building yourself up. Who's your dream fight at 155?
Well, my dream fight, like I say, dream fight. It's just I've always looked up to Donald Cerrone.
Yeah,
He's just a guy that I think carries himself well. He's a really good role model. I don't particularly want to fight him because I think it's like I don't like the guy or something like that. It's just I would really be honoured to be able to share an octagon with that guy, and he's an
yeah.
absolute veteran. And I think he's just such a cool guy, and it'd be good to get a beer with him afterwards.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Listen,
Yeah.
Donald Cerrone will have a good few beers afterwards with you. So,
I probably will. Well,
so, and then last thing for you, Chris. Obviously, anybody you want to shout out, sponsors, training partners, obviously teammates and things like that.
yeah, well, definitely all my sponsors. You know that I've got such a few of them. You know, everybody knows who they are. And I've got all these people helping me. So that there's like, I was saying this to my girlfriend. I'm so lucky to have the people around about me that I have. You know, there's a lot of people that want to see me do well, and I don't really know why. Like, I try and be nice back to them. I always try and be courteous and all that sort of stuff. I'm just super happy to have all these people behind me, and I got, here's my baby there. Look, I'm going to give a shout out to my baby.
There you go.
Yeah, this is summer. Got her guard up. So, and also, I'd like to give myself my gym a wee shout out as well. My coach Adam's been putting a lot of work into his gym, Evo Gym, and
Yes.
he's really making it a really nice place, a really good atmosphere to train in, and all the boys are coming on leaps and bounds. So I'm just super happy he's branched out himself, and he deserves whatever's coming to him. So yeah, that's about it.
Definitely. Well, listen, it's been an absolute honour, Chris.
Yeah,
Obviously, me and we'll catch up again at some point. As I said,
of course.
whether it be talking through this or even any open mats. I don't know if you're allowed to do open mats now that you're going to be in the UFC. I don't know if they'll
Yeah,
let you
well,
go. And
I'd need to check, but yeah, I'm definitely up for it. And even if we can get like a high profile match going, get me wrestling some, sitting and grappling someday, and we can just see how it goes. But
yeah,
if you want an interview, man, I'm more than happy to do so.
nice one. But listen, thank you very much, brother. And you enjoy the rest of your evening, okay, mate?
Bye.
Take it easy, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.